All right, let's roll. The Wicked Wednesday has begun, although it's hard to keep up with what day it is. Although I know it's been an ultra long day today, but nothing that we can't handle. And we're in for another 120 minutes. Babano's going to step up and in. And but tonight's a good night for my boy Babano to be joining us, actually. It's good timing. It's good timing. As I say, we've been throwing it down since 9 in the morning. With Carton and friends. Great time today. It's a pleasure meeting Andre Agassi. I've got a picture with Agassi, actually. And it wasn't me like, oh, can I get a picture? Even though I kind of wanted to get a picture with him. But I got a picture with me, Craig Carton, and Agassi. Except I don't have it. I don't know. Bones took the picture. I thought he would post it, but he didn't. But we got along well with Andre Agassi, actually. It was pretty cool. Like, after the interview, man, he came up to me and he started laughing. He goes, man, you're all right. He gave me a hug and shit. And he liked to ask me. He was like, yeah, man, Bobby Riggs. And he started laughing. Who the hell's going to ask Andre Agassi about Bobby Riggs? But Andre Agassi is like pimping coffee. Like, that's why Andre Agassi did the interview. Andre Agassi is like selling coffee, right? Like, he's a pitch. He's got a sponsorship deal with a coffee company. He has for years. Yeah, he has for years. So he's selling coffee. I asked him about Bobby Riggs. And yeah, it was a great story. So of course we always talk about Bobby Riggs here. And so I said to Agassi, I said, man, I said, hey, I'm a gambler, and we're all big fans of Bobby Riggs. And I know Agassi likes to lay down. The guy lives in Vegas, right? So I'm like, you live in Vegas, man. And I was talking to him before a bit about Las Vegas and shit. He was pretty cool. He's a nice guy. And like, he was like, oh, you lived in Vegas. And he knew what the condo I lived in and stuff. And so I said, you have a Bobby Riggs? And he goes, I never met Bobby Riggs. But he goes, I do have a story about him. And the Bobby Riggs story was great. Basically, he said he said Bobby Riggs was like such a hustler that it wasn't just tennis. He used to go to like golf and country clubs and shit. And there's golf and tennis at a lot of these places, so he'd play golf too against people for money. Except Bobby Riggs used to tell people, listen, I'm no good at golf. I can't play golf. So he says, one shot per hole, I get to throw the ball. So one shot per hole, instead of using the club, he gets to throw it. Okay. That's part of the deal. So Bobby Riggs is playing golf and he's throwing it, and like, he's taking a drive and stuff, and then he's throwing it at the green, and the ball's rolling up. And Agassi tells the story funny. He goes, he's rolling it towards the green and he's throwing it, and like, and so he goes, he gets to the 18th hole. He gets to the 18th hole, and Bobby Riggs goes up and picks up the other guy's ball on the green and freaking whips it, throws it away. And Bobby Riggs is like, I win. Because Bobby Riggs said, I get to throw one ball per hole. He never said whose ball. See, that's slick gambling. That's Bobby Riggs, right? Bobby Riggs always had an angle. Bobby Riggs is thinking, man, these guys will never think of that. I get to throw them. So he does it. And then at the end, he picks up the other guy's ball and throws it into the bush so the guy can't get it. It's all the penalty strokes. Bobby Riggs is like, I win. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's like the real hustler move. Like that's like a real hustler move right there. All right, so for the record, I'm on the New York Yankees tonight. I don't know, whatever. Last night I was on the A's and I lost. Tonight I'm on the Yankees. That's going to work out well. Do we at least get the damn game tonight? Not that I can stay up and watch it. So listen, you guys didn't tune in to hear me complain. I'm not going to complain. Hey, I live a blessed life in a sense, in a sense. But yeah, we're on we're on at 9 a.m. But you guys don't understand. Like, this is a culture shock to me, man. I'm not used to traveling and stuff. All right, I did a bit in Toronto when I worked at the Score, but not really. Like, it wasn't that far. I took a streetcar and smoked weed and walked down the street. Like, this isn't that bad. But the thing is, here, there's no control, and you can't be late for a national television morning show, right? It's just unprofessional. So, like, man, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. I got to leave at 7:15. I leave at 7:15. I don't really get there. It's hit or miss. Today I got there at like 7:36. Fuck. I got there in like 12 minutes. You know, sometimes it takes 40. I never know, man, how long it's going to take. And so we're on from 9 to 12 today. Immediately after that, we did a couple of videos. Then we did Red Heat and Rage. And then I just shot like an hour and a half worth of NFL videos. I hopped on a ferry. I didn't think I'd get here this quickly, but I did. I'm kind of like, before I was getting wiped out, but I'll be all right. Wednesdays are the grind for me. Wednesdays are the busy, sudden, really busy day. Like I said, nothing that we can't handle, but the problem is, unfortunately, it's good news, bad news. Like, this is our last night in this hotel. It's like the last thing I need is like more. Was Avery in the house? We see Nate Brooks. What's up? Hey, thanks, Brooks. Thank you very much for the kind words, Brooks. So, yeah, listen, we've been in this sort of upscale hotel for the last, 6 nights, and it's catching up. It's too expensive for everybody. I can't even bitch anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on. There's some convention or something, and the rates are going up to $260 a night. So, and the problem is, I'm going back to Toronto next Saturday to record the record. So I'm kind of in this little in-between land. I could stay at Carton's house, but Carton lives in the middle of nowhere, and whatever, man. This guy doesn't realize I'm on all day. Like, he says that, and then he's going to start freaking out. I'm going to be fucking yelling in his house all night long. What am I doing? So, my boy John Lerner says I can stay with him, but he lives like next to Rutgers. I basically have to be on a train at 6 a.m. and stuff. I can't do that. Like, I'm screwed. I'm absolutely screwed. So this is the last night in this hotel, and I'm moving into, I'm going to another hotel for the next week. I'm going to another hotel, basically like near the Meadowlands. We're just talking about the Meadow. Like, I never would have imagined this. So for the record, this is the positive side. I'm 12 minutes from the Sportsbook. I am a 12-minute taxi ride from the FanDuel Sportsbook. So looks like I'll be going there a lot this week. I check in tomorrow. Cardano found the hotel. It's a reasonable price. It's actually a nice hotel, but the thing is, it's like on the side of the fucking Jersey Turnpike. It's like one of those deals. Like, there's nothing around. Like, it's on the side of the highway type. One of those, The only thing is, they have a shuttle for free. And it's the last hotel stop. So I'm not going to stop at a bunch of other hotels. It's the last one. So there's a shuttle into the city that's going to drop me off at Times Square. Fuck. Like, that's what I need. Fuck. Oh, God. It goes to Times Square, Drew. Here, look, I'll DM you. I'll send you the place on. I can't walk it. It's on the side of the fucking highway and shit. It's one of these weird deals. You can't really walk around the area. Oh, you're talking when I get to Times Square. I don't mind Times Square. Yeah. It's cool at Times Square. Thing is, though, I'm supposed to get there at 8. The shuttle only leaves at 8. They say it's 20 to 30 minutes on the shuttle to Times Square. I could get to the studio after that. I've got, they know my situation. So Cardano said, listen, fuck, it'll be funny on the show. They'll just laugh. Fucking, how was the shuttle this morning? He goes, it's just for a week, bro, So this is the long story short. I got the condo. We got the condo. Now I got to go and pay them a shitload of motherfucking money. But this is the irony. You can't make this stuff up, guys. We'll get to the football in a minute, all right? But I'm on the Yankees tonight for the record. So you can't make this up. The place that I'm moving into is only available on September the 15th. All right? The place is only available on September the 15th. So you can't even move in on a weekend. So my move-in date is September 17th. So I'm not even going to be there. I'm going to be in Toronto. So I got to pay all this money for a place that I'm not going to be at. At least I know when I come back from the record, I'm, walking into a condo. Ugh. You're right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Stooch the Man. Like you said. So listen, I don't have a fucking place here until fucking the 15th, but I'm going to Toronto on the 16th, and I can't move in on the 15th because you're not allowed to move in on a weekend. So it turns out my move-in, technically my first day will be the 17th, but I won't even be in the city. It's just a shit show. It's a shit show. I'm going to get back on a Sunday night. Fuck, I got to get the fucking keys. I got a lot of shit to figure out with these people. Because fuck, some chick is moving out, bro. I don't know, man. It's fuck. No, I can't move in with Michelle. I don't think, no. Michelle never offered for me to stay there. So, so basically, yeah, I've got a kick-ass place. No, it's not furnished. No, it's not furnished. I'm going to come back and I won't even have any furniture. No, no, of course not. I told the lady that. She goes, you can't move in on Saturday. It's rules. I said, I don't have anything to move in. She goes, what do you mean? I said, I don't have anything. I said, I have a bag. She's like, so you don't need to move anything? I'm like, no. She goes, well, eventually you do. She's like, you got to tell us. And they're like, already it's the rules, fuck, right? She goes, oh, the place is on the bill on the 15th, but you can only come in on the 17th, I guess. It's like, yeah, whatever, fuck. I wouldn't be here anyways. I just got to make sure I get the damn keys, fuck. And you got to understand, don't forget, I was in a hotel in Vegas last week, and then I was on a couch in Vancouver. I've been in these rooms and places for a couple of weeks now. It's starting to add up. It's catching up to me. Except, to be honest, it's time to go here. I've been here a week, and you can feel like you're wearing out your welcome, even though it's a hotel and we're paying. There's no one smoking weed outside, right? So I'm blazing out there. I'm coming in, fucking, I reek in the elevator. People are looking. The hotel staff sort of there's a security guard. He's giving me the look all the time, and And quite frankly, the cops, they're always patrolling the area. And there's been a couple of times where it's just been hit or miss. Like, I think they smell it and shit. They're sort of driving around the street, the parking lot. I sort of, oh shit. And I go in one door and I pop out the other. Like, it happened like 3 times yesterday. And even me, I knew it. I have a great sixth sense for this shit, right? So I knew. I was like, man, it was after the show last night. I was like, man, it's fucking 1 a.m. I said, they've been buzzing around the lot all day. Fuck. I said, I know, fuck, it's going to happen. And lo and behold, man, motherfucker right out of nowhere rolled up on me. The thing is, though, I had that stupid white shirt on and shit. I just look like a goofy tourist, right? So, yeah, man. Like, New York's not a problem, bro. Like, yeah, but New Jersey, Jersey's a little different, bro. New York City, it's not an issue. Today, I didn't even realize, man. I basically like fucking blew smoke in a motherfucker's face today, actually. And he didn't even bat an eyelash, man. Thank you very much, Cody. Listen, tomorrow we're going to get more football-ish on Thursday and Friday, but I'm just one of the friends, right? So the thing is, Carton just doesn't really care about anything. So like everything bores him, right? He's like, whatever, fuck. Like you can tell him like before the show, everyone tells him these stories like, yeah. Like even right after Buddy told me, he's like, listen, because Agassi was on, and he goes, listen, he goes, the agency that Agassi is on, he goes, we could get someone in studio every day, basically. He goes, from NBA players to tennis, wrestlers, he goes, we can get anybody, all right? And he goes, Carton never fucking wants them. Carton always shuts it down. And he goes, Carton likes Agassi, so he brought Agassi in, but and he said, tell me if you want these guys after. I was like, yeah. Like, that's what made the show on Sirius before, right? I like not even knowing. I like just walking in and finding out, all right, we got this guy on? Good, fuck. That's what I used to do. I used to tell fucking Orville all the time. I'd say, I don't care who you book, fuck. Just book someone. Whatever. I don't care. Baseball, basketball, wrestling, football, fucking politics. I don't care. Just book somebody. Get somebody good. Get me a name and I'm good. I don't care. Oh yeah. That was great stuff. Yeah, Orville was the best guest booker we've ever had. He was good. He's smart and he's persistent. We've had other guest bookers. Our boy Rimmer's not bad. Rimmer's good, but the thing with Rimmer is all of his guests are like 100 years old. Fuck. I don't think I could get Donald Trump right now. That's the whole thing, Stooch. You get all these kids in the chat. You get all these kids in the chat and they're freaking out. Fuck. Like, do they really think that Craig Carton is going to answer whether to start Devontae Parker or not? Like, they're like, oh, it's the Fantasy Sports Network. It's like, bro, fuck. It's a morning show that's syndicated. Like, figure it out. Like, there's like 12 hours of fantasy talk right after it. Hell, even me, fuck, I'll read even game time decisions. I've been all fantasy all week. Today I talked rankings for 2 hours today, fuck, on the show. So like I said, like these kids, they're funny. They think that like Carton's gonna change and so, oh yeah, I'm gonna answer all your questions. Like he doesn't care. Like, it's actually funny. Like Yeah, it was an enjoyable show today. Michelle was in a today was like the less bubbly she's ever been. She was all right after the show, but she was pretty she got pretty animated on the show about that whole breakfast thing. It was pretty funny. She finally snapped. Like, she goes, "Why would I buy any of you guys breakfast? You all make more money than I do." She starts freaking out. She goes, you all make more money than me. Why would I buy it?" She goes, "I'm never buying you guys breakfast, ever." Listen, I went into McDonald's on Ninth. That's my new spot. Like, I went into McDonald's on Ninth this morning. The crackheads weren't there. I don't know. It's hit or miss. It was like a normal McDonald's. So I went in there. I was like, man, I can't just buy one breakfast, fuck, and walk in here and like eat in front of them. So I bought them. Carton smashed his in a second. Corey was like fucking really happy. And Michelle threw hers in the garbage, fuck. So we said, it's like, why didn't you just like say, whatever, you don't want it? And she goes, whatever, I threw it out. What city am I moving to, Rocky? Well, I'm in New York, but I'll be in North Jersey, which is basically, whatever. I'm pretty much as close to New York as you could be. What's up, Money Tank? The only thing is, I didn't want a dumpy place, but I ended up getting too nice of a place almost. Like, basically, if I can't get laid, if I don't have like some hot chick at the end of this year, then I should just fucking jump off the waterway and end it. Exactly. That's the thing. I can bet on the other side of the border. I'm on this side. I can bet. Is DraftKings a good book? No. Listen, DraftKings isn't a book, Ken. It's online only. So it's just an app, right? They don't have like a physical book. FanDuel has a physical book. FanDuel has a physical, sports book, which I need to go to because I got to cash my fucking ticket. No, I'm not adjusting good at all, Haynes. At all. No. It's like I feel like I'm a kid again. I moved to Hollywood or something. Like, I'm in fucking dumpy places. I'm fucking, I'm getting lost and shit. I'm not anymore. I'm not really getting lost, but it's just, it would be okay, Haynes. It's not the city move. It's just the fact I'm in a hotel. I don't have a place. I got to go back to Toronto. I got a lot of stress, man. And I'm on the air 12 fucking hours a day. So it's not like I'm not on and just, let me go home and relax. You know what I mean? It's like I'm on and my phone rings all day. I got fucking condo people. I got Cardano. I got fucking this show and that show and this video. And, there's no such thing as slacking in this city, right? Like, it's fucking hardcore, man. It's a hustle, fuck. So once I get settled in, I'll be fine. It's annoying now. And I'm not looking forward to fucking commuting in from the fucking Jersey Turnpike in some fucking motel, fuck. Enjoy New York, man. We're gonna move on from New York. We're gonna bring the band. We'll talk football in a minute. But guys, Drew's gonna laugh about this, and Drew knows the area. Listen, I've been to Modell's once. That's on the corner, and I actually went to H&M yesterday to buy a belt I didn't know where to buy a belt. Fuck, I wanted to buy a belt from one of these like side stores. You figure you'll find a fucking belt in Manhattan. You can't. I had to go to H&M. Fuck. No, I haven't done anything, bro. And to be honest, I kind of like, I wanted to do the other day on Monday, I considered it, but I didn't. I fucking wussed out. I was like, man, I was like, I want to go to that NBA store. I'm going to go to Trump Tower and take that picture and shut Jazz up. And fucking, I was all like, I was like, man, let me do the shit that I never have time to do. I want to go to Trump Tower. I'm going to go to the NBA store. And, I'm going to walk around and shit. And I want to go to see that fucking Rockefeller NBC building and Fox and shit. It was like, I walk like a block. And I was like, fuck that. Fuck. I was like, man, I got to get back to the room and fucking fill that fantasy league. You know what, Drew? That's the one place I'm going to go to. I walk past it every day, Sam Ash. I want to go in there. I haven't had time, dude. I haven't had time. I just left Manhattan at fucking 8:47 to get back for this show. And I'm up at 6 a.m. going back there. After that show, I got to come back here, check out, move into the side of the highway in New Jersey. And then we're going to be living on the side of the road for the next 10 days. The only thing is, like I said, I read all the reviews of the hotel. And people like it. Like, it has very good, like the rooms are nice and shit, but they're like, man, it's kind of scary on the outside and it's kind of weird and intimidating. And it's one of those, but hey, James Ross, I see you on Twitter all the time. How you doing? All right, let's get Babano in here. I got to get off at midnight, so if Babano joins us now, we'll be able to get to about, what, 2 games? Here it is. I can't put it in the chat for everyone. I would if it was Patreon, but I can't let some of these psychos know where I am. But listen, it's not that bad. I'll be honest with you. Like, as far I'm saying, it is on the side of the weird road and shit, but I looked it up and it even says it's a $10. You can take a shuttle for $7 to Times Square, and it picks you up right in the front door. Leaves every morning at 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., whatever, every half hour. Or it says if you're in a panic, like they know, they're like, if you got to get to the city earlier, they said it's only a $10 taxi ride to the Lincoln Harbor Ferry, which is where I am right now, where I take it. So whatever, fuck. It's basically going to add a half hour and a $10 taxi ride to my life. And there's no like amenities around here. Like, I'm going to be fucking vending machine and I'll have to pick shit up in the city. Or I'll just be hanging out at the FanDuel Sportsbook a lot. To be honest, I'll probably be doing the show again Saturday at FanDuel. What am I going to do? Fuck, I'm going to sit in a room. Might as well. I got to go to the book to get bets in. I might go tomorrow. I got to get a Falcon bet in. Fuck. All right. There, I showed Drew that. He get a laugh. And let's give Babano the link. Babano. We're going to campaign. We're going to campaign for Babano right now and say that, listen to this. Listen, I told some of the people at SBR I can't do the Sunday stuff. Last year, of course, I did the show with Donnie Rightside for the hour before kickoff. I can't do it. But I told them, except I guess there was a miscommunication with a few of them. So, but who better than Babano to step up and in? Babano's even a partner with Donnie on the website, a cohort. I'm not going to be doing the Sunday night betcast either. But I did tell them I'll check in on the betcast. Like whoever's hosting the betcast, I'll check in for a couple of minutes or a quarter or whatever and shoot the shit. But I can't host it for fucking 4 hours a night. It's like George Costanza. My duties with the Yankees, George Steinbrenner. My duties. But as I stated, we will recommend Babano. Yeah, exactly. True. You're right, Drew. It's the same stadium. You're right, Drew. Same area. You're right. But yeah, it's one of those deals. If you notice, I'm getting closer to Union City, man. That's the one thing I noticed first. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm basically in the dangerous part of the neighborhood now. Like, that's the gist of it. Like, yeah, I'm in the same hood, but, I'm on the fucking sketchy part of the fucking track. All right, let's bring in Babano right now. What's up, Big Will? And yeah, you know what? We got Sunday stuff too. We'll be on this Sunday, actually. I'm going to be on from Sunday from 10 until 4, man. Except I'll be off for like an hour or something. I'll be on from 10 to 1, and then I'll be back at 2 to 4. I'll be kicking it with Mike Blewett and Corey Parson. Maria Marino, I guess she's doing like the FanDuel thing. I don't know. There's a lot of shit going. Whatever. Let's bring Babano in right now. Rightwager.com. Babano. What's going on, Babano?
Good to be with you, Gabe. Yeah, you've been able to enjoy New York City so far. I know you've been there for a week. You've just had all kinds of time at your disposal to check out the sites, go to some good restaurants. You've had all kinds of time to do this.
Yeah, I don't have me time, Babano. That's not how we roll. Like,
no, your me time is doing shows left and right. That's your me time.
Yeah, exactly. We're here to take care of business. But honestly, last Saturday was that time. That's the one night I had. I went out to the FanDuel book. I ended up getting fucking wasted. And that's about it. And it kind of sucks is this Saturday, if I go, I got to do Sunday NFL stuff and be ready for the NFL. You got super contest picks in, man. A lot of stuff going on here, Babano. Football and listen, it's a busy time of year for everybody in this industry right now, including yourself, I'm sure.
Exactly. Me time's over for me. Me time is going to be handicapping and watching games and making halftime bets and jotting notes down and which offensive line looks terrible to you. Oh, this little thing I've noticed during this game. I got to get that stuff typed up and ready to go, use it in the future. And it's just that time of year. You're watching football, you're betting football, you're handicapping football. And it's like week after week, it's going to be like this now for 4 or 5 months. Get ready.
Yeah, there's no turning back starting tomorrow. And then it's all the way through to the Super Bowl yet. Listen, I've been busy. I started at 9 a.m. today, but I had to leave here at 7:15. I was up at 6. It's been nonstop today, literally. Like it is, but we're not complaining. But I had Mark Lawrence on tonight. The video will be up later in the morning, whatever. And so I had Mark Lawrence on, and Mark said, "Oh God, what a grind today!" And he's like, I'll be on with fucking what's the guy's name? Ben Mahler. He goes, I think it was Ben Mahler. It was one of the national shows. He's like, I'll be on tonight at 12:30 at night. And Mark Lawrence does 11 hits on Wednesdays, Babano.
11
hits throughout the day. Yeah.
I knew he did like a bunch because he does Blessing Sportsbook radio show too every Wednesday. He's done that for years.
Wednesday is his media day. He doesn't do Wednesday's his day to do this stuff. So he does Wednesday, and he said he does 11 hits throughout the day. And man, he was on with me for like 20 minutes, 18 minutes. Then he told me after, he goes, I got one more to do at like fucking 12:30 on fucking one station, Fox or whatever it was. Yeah,
Amazing.
so, and he was talking about how his playbook takes him 3 days, 18 hours a day, 3 days a week. It's not an easy life.
No, it's not. You got to devote time. If you're not willing to put in time and effort and just sit down and realize you're going to be sitting and staring at a monitor or typing things or doing shit like that for 12-hour days sometimes, especially when we get to October, November, or November, December, really. Could you imagine when it gets to November, December, Gabe, every year? That's the 2 months of hell for any handicapper. You got basketball, college and pro, football, college and pro, hockey, all at once, all at the same time, November and December. Those 2 months, we don't go out every year as a sports bettor nice and tame, nice and calm and easy. No, we go out like a lion. We're just worked to the bone the last 2 months.
Yeah, normally I'd be NFL starts and whatever. I'm sort of thinking more Sunday than tomorrow. So let's jump in right now and get some picks. That's what people tune in for. So the game tomorrow, it's a tough one, Babano. Like there's no, I don't know. Like you look at it, I lean Atlanta, but I can't say, oh, Atlanta wins this game for sure. Philadelphia is not getting any respect once again. And we saw last year how that turned out when nobody ever respected them. And, I heard in Vegas, the game's down to a pick 'em right now. I know at FanDuel, it's like minus a half a point. And think about that. Like Philadelphia is in the backyard of Jersey, bro. Like I was at the book, like half the people there are Eagle fans. Like there's a lot of Eagle gear and shit. It's like there's just giant country, but it's also Eagle country. And even the locals aren't betting them. Like everybody's on the Atlanta Falcons tomorrow, Rubano. Everybody.
It's true. And I mentioned this on the football's one of the shows I did earlier today, but Falcons is all I've heard. I mean, it's been Dirty Bird one after another, like they're lining up and they know how this game's going to play out before we even have the opening kickoff. And I'm going to be the man on the island here, basically looking at Philadelphia now that they're picking -1. And people are just going to go back to the preseason and the fact that Nick Foles and the offense for the Eagles look completely out of sync. But I'm going to counter argue that point with the fact that I don't think Doug Peterson gave two shits the entire preseason what his team was doing. It was about staying healthy. We saw in the walkthrough game against Cleveland, it was an ugly game, 5-0, and Foles wasn't good. But the offensive line sat everybody. The running backs, nobody really major in that running back depth chart played. Receivers were missing. That was not an offense that Doug Peterson was looking at that preseason game as we need to show something. We need to play good. No, there was no game planning. He said it all preseason. Every Doug Peterson media conference, he said at least one time, every press conference, that they were going vanilla the entire preseason. They weren't putting much prep or game planning into anything. If Nick Foles goes out and lays an egg and that offense struggles tomorrow night, I will have a lot more concern for Philly's offense moving forward. But right now, I can't overreact to what they did in August. I've still got issues with Atlanta's defense at times, especially in the pass defense. Up front, they're not bad. And I think Philadelphia can rely on that Jim Schwartz defense to handle Matt Ryan and company. They did it in the playoff game last year. Now that this number's where it is, I can only look at Philly.
Talking in the chat about the over here. The under's the play. It was 15-10 last year. I think it'll be another slugfest tomorrow. It's not going to be a track meet shootout. At least I don't think it is.
I agree. The people that got on the under early in this game, I think they were onto something. It was 46.5. It's 44.5 now. It's gone down a full 2 points. I agree with that move. I don't want to get in now that it's 44.5, but to me, this is going to be a lower scoring game. I think the defenses on both of these sides, Gabe, they're ahead of the offenses going into this first game.
Listen, the Atlanta Falcons, they're sort of known for offense. Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman and Matt Ryan and Sanu and et cetera. So, and yeah, 2 years ago when they made it to the Super Bowl, they put up a lot of points, but their defense is actually pretty good last year. Like they've got a lot of very, very good defensive players. Their defense really, really was better last year. I think that theme continues. I think the Eagles can hang their hat on their defense still. And, offensively, I'm not buying the Eagles. J.H.I. is banged up. Alshon Jeffrey's not playing. And I don't care about what they ran in the preseason and shit and whether it was vanilla or not. Nick Foles is Nick Foles. And I think it's ironic, actually, that Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator. Because I tell you, as a Buffalo Bill fan, Frank Reich was the guy that led the comeback, Babano, against the Houston Oilers when they were down 35-3 at the half. And everybody wanted Frank Reich to be the starting quarterback after. They're like, well, look, man, he fucking led that big comeback. And, once the backup quarterback's always the most popular guy in town until he's the starting quarterback. And Nick Foles been around a long time. He had a good game in a Super Bowl. It doesn't mean that suddenly he's a good quarterback or a great quarterback. He's okay. But I think, and listen, I know he's religious, so maybe God's just going to bless him every freaking game that he takes the field on. But I think God already blessed him. I think he had his moment. His moment is gone. The problem is the game's a pick 'em, so there's no value with Atlanta. And like you said, strategically, you can make an argument that there's value with the Philadelphia Eagles now, defending Super Bowl champion. You throw three points for home field. That's a tougher home field. Doug Peterson is 13-4-1 against the spread at the Link. And how about this, Babano? Super Bowl champions are 15-3 straight up in their first game of the year, the last 18 openers when they do this NBC shit. You can make a strong, number argument for Philadelphia right now.
Now, the home team in week one, Super Bowl champ on the Thursday night, that hasn't been quite as strong the last few years, but long-term, it's been really good. Look at last year. Kansas City walks into Foxborough.
Right?
Yeah, exactly, against New England. But you're right. There is some credence to that. It's the home opener. Everybody gets in a frenzy early on, the ring ceremony before the game. It's going to be a raucous atmosphere. It always is at the Link. I'm just not sure Atlanta's ready here in week one to go on the road, win this football game. And again, I was not interested in Philly at the opener, not even close to touching the Eagles side, but now down to pick 'em, just win the game straight up. I think I can get in there. Again, this is not a huge stake game for me, Gabe. This is pizza money, maybe a little more, not much more than that though. But we'll be looking at Philadelphia. I can't pass up the line value that's opened up here.
Listen, if we want to be serious, and hey, how about a thumbs up, guys? A little light here with 18 only. Already 3 thumbs down. But if we're going to be serious and not just throw picks and I get it. It's the first game of the year. Everybody wants to bet it. Everyone gets crazy. I'm not getting crazy with this football game. There's 16 games this week, guys. You don't go crazy with every one of them. You want to lose your bankroll on a game that no one knows who's going to win. You can't say, oh, all the Atlanta Falcons are going to win. What, for sure they're going to be the defending Super Bowl champions? And then you can say with confidence that Nick Foles and the Eagles and without Alshon Jeffrey are going to win again, and it's just they're going to keep winning every damn game they ever play in, right? It's a tough game. From a total perspective, it's even tough. I can tell you what, Daily Roto, the people I work with, Daily Roto, they're into the projection game now. They have this game projected to score 41 points. I can't give away all their projections, but they've got this game projected to score 41 points. They only scored 25 points last year in the playoff game. I would lean with the under here, but you know what we're going to do, Babano? You give me credit for the props, and we appreciate it, but that's where we're going to go here. We're going to find some props tomorrow. We'll attack the props. And I'll tell you what, the long field goal prop, I know that there could be some rain tomorrow, but whatever, fuck it. It'll go away. And Matt Bryant hit more field goals of 50 yards or more than anybody in the NFL last year. The kicker with the third most kicks of 50 yards or more.
Yeah, Jake Elliott. Exactly. These are two big
leg kickers. 50 yarders. I just need 44.5 yarders. Both these guys are elite long kickers. Long field goal props the way to go in this game.
Yeah, I mean, but the one thing you did caution everybody, and I know you mentioned this at IFBC, is they're gypping you now with the long field goal prop. They keep raising the thing just slightly more and more and more every week, every year, it seems. So, what was 46.5, now you're getting some 47.5, and it's just starting to rise creep up ever so slightly with that long field goal because they know people are going to be looking at overs with some of these. But I agree, those are big leg kickers, both of them, Brian and Elliott on both sides in this game.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how. In fact, let's see if there's a number yet. You know what it is, Babano, though they don't really start adding this stuff until a little bit later. I don't think they're going to want to give us money because we're on this, right? Let's see, long field goal. Yeah, no. Oh, I think we're going to have it. All right, so I'm going to say that it's going to be 45.5, Babano. That's my guess, 45.5.
Wow.
And this is why I'm the prop king. It's 45.5.
Bam, there you go. So that's not a bad number at all, actually, to be honest. I thought it would be a yard or two higher. 46 or more. Come on, 47 is the new fucking 37. Yeah.
47 is a chip shot. So, hey, listen, I'd prefer the 44.5, 43.5. We've got long field goal props up for all the games right now. So 45.5, I'm going over the number.
Yeah, really good. That's
You're telling me there's not going to be a 46-yard field goal at some point in this
I
game?
like the number, and I'd take my chances that I can get a 47 or 48-yard field goal out of one of these guys, maybe even a 50-yarder. Because again, when we're talking about big legs, the ability to hit the long field goals in even moderately tough conditions, you have two kickers that can clearly do that here, Bryant and Elliott.
At
Elliott, how many
46.
great big time clutch kicks to
At
Jake Elliott?
46. Look, you had 17 yards, Babano.
Yep.
So you had 17 yards to where the ball is. I'm good at like doing the math quick on that, right? I'm always looking, where's it going to be? So basically, we're good from the 29-yard line and out, right? 29-yard line and out, we win that prop.
Yep.
I got to believe that some defense steps up and stops someone on 3rd and 3 from the fucking 32 type thing.
Good handicap.
Field goal hit.
If you think the defenses are going to play well in this game, and I think you got a good chance to have both defenses be ahead of the offenses. Atlanta's to be ahead of their offense, and Philly's defense to be ahead of their own offense.
And if
you believe in that, you're going to see some long field goal attempts to stop you before they get to the red zone. Yep.
And also, both coaches will have confidence in their kickers. Some guys will be like, man, I don't want to take a 52-yard field goal attempt. The guy's going to miss, and we're going to give the other team a good field position. Bryant nails them all the time, and Elliott nails them all the time. So both coaches, if they get in that realm, it's not like Peterson's going to be scared. Oh, I don't want to take a 51-yard field goal. He'll let Elliott try.
You got kickers that are good enough where if you get 4th and 2 at the 34, you can give it a shot instead of going for it. And especially in Atlanta's case, when you're on the road, take the points.
Sorry, Babano, man. Fucking Yankees. Fuck, man. This fucking team pissed me off. Fuck.
Yeah, I hate to be happy about that, but yeah, I'm on Oakland there. Sorry.
I should have taken them as dogs. Last night, dude, I'm zigging and zagging. Last night I was on the A's.
I love Oakland. Oakland and St. Louis have single-handedly, those two teams built my baseball profits this season. Those two teams solely. Oakland Athletics, St. Louis Cardinals. Just been riding them for months, and it's been good.
All right.
Amazing what Oakland's doing. Amazing, actually.
So you're leaning Philadelphia tomorrow. You said small play.
Yeah, I'm gonna have small play
right side now. What he says, fucking Burger King money. Now you're like pizza money.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean I wouldn't even
raw material, Babano. Come on.
This wouldn't even come close to rightwager.com content, but it's bettable because it's the primetime game. Put a couple of shekels on it. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't bet over your head, you're fine, and that's what I'm going to do here.
So you're recreationally betting on Philadelphia. All right. So. Of course they did. Fuck. Oh, that's right. Well, hopefully we don't get knocked off at 11. We probably will. Fuck. Yeah, soup money. So, man, designer.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Campbell's soup. Well, that's like $1 bet. So no more than that.
We got to build our Soup Fest bankroll for next year. Yeah.
All right. So the other games, we got the Buffalo Bills. What other games you want to talk about?
All right, we'll go. Let's go quick, very quick hitters, like 20 seconds, 30 seconds on each. Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Pittsburgh -4, total 44.5. I will not
seconds on each game. There's no way hell you can do that.
I will watch. We're going to do it right now. This game, I've got very little on it. I don't want Cleveland. I don't trust Cleveland, especially with everybody flocking to the Browns. Flavor of the month material, Hard Knocks and all this, that their offense is going to be better, that their defense has gotten better. Pittsburgh turmoil, Le'Veon Bell, offensive lineman pissed off with Le'Veon Bell holding out and now flapping their gums about it to the media. Bad situation there. I will still not take Cleveland in this game. Pittsburgh or nothing, but I choose nothing.
I think Cleveland's going to cover.
I can't do it. I got to see it first. I got to actually see them win a game, cover a number. Yeah. But it's tough. Pittsburgh's got some issues. I mean, you're kidding yourself if you don't think the Steelers have some issues coming in.
Why is the spread only 4?
It's because the people that are hammering Cleveland year after year and getting their teeth kicked in keep on doing it. They're just hoping for a better result because it's a new season, new hope. You know,
seems like the odds makers are trying to fucking get you to bet on Pittsburgh.
They are. I think it seems that way. It's a fishy number. It's been all Cleveland. This has been a very one-sided bet game. It was 6.5, 7 early in the summer. It's 4.5, 4 now. 4 now pretty much across the board. But I can't do it with Cleveland. I can't. I am not a believer in the Cleveland Browns and any team coached by Hugh Jackson until I actually see positive results. And I'm still waiting.
So I'm just eating some nacho here.
That's all right. No, it's good. Late night snack. Go for it. Usually have chips or popcorn or something.
Hotel nachos.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see. They're
Making me hungry now.
yeah, get a shot of them. They're there.
So there we go. That one's worth only 30 seconds, that game, because I don't have much on it. San Fran, Minnesota. What do we got here? Minnesota laying 6, 45.
I like the 49ers.
This is where we're going to find out how good.
This is another trap. I'm a guy that fucking loves Zimmer. I bet on the Vikings a lot. I don't think the Vikings smoke them. I think this game comes down to the wire. And you're just talking about Cleveland has to prove it to you. I feel that Kirk Cousins has to prove it. Is Kirk Cousins going to light it up? I don't know, man. We'll see. He's got a lot of weapons. Dalvin Cook, Thielen, Diggs, Rudolph. They're a good team. The Vikings are an elite team, but San Francisco are a smash-mouth football team with very good defense. And everyone talks about Garoppolo, but they have a very good defense, this team. And I think San Francisco hangs in this game. I've had people disagree. Mark Lawrence disagreed with me tonight on this one. So what do you think of it?
This is interesting because I think San Francisco's got potential to be good defensively. I didn't like their first-team defense at all in the preseason. I think they struggled on that side of the ball. That's a concern I've got. Can Kirk Cousins and Minnesota's offense take advantage of it? It's going to be the question. This is where we're going to find out is how good is Mike Zimmer against the point spread, because I've said this, and that's my concern with backing Minnesota.
But he's usually not 6.5 point favorites.
That's the thing. Exactly. And that's what I've said. He is not going to be asked to cover his dogs or pick them or -3 in a lot of games this year. He's going to be asked to lay 6.5, 7, maybe even double digits against bad football teams, worse football teams than San Francisco. Let's see what Mike Zimmer's record, ATS, this season is. If he emerges this season with a winning point spread record, I will be incredibly impressed. But I think it's going to be hard for Minnesota to just maintain this point spread dominance that they've enjoyed in the Mike Zimmer era. You're right. I've bashed Kirk Cousins in the past on shows with you many times, Gabe. You know that. I've never been a huge Kirk Cousins fan.
If you remember a couple of years ago, the Minnesota Vikings were 13-3 on the year. They won like 12 games in a row.
Yep.
You remember where they lost? San Francisco.
Yep.
The first game of the year.
That's right. And they were just terrible in that game.
And the San Francisco 49ers won like 2 games all year. Fucking one of them was against Minnesota.
That's right.
I'm just saying.
Was a Monday night game. I remember it. Yeah, Monday night football, week 1. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because looking at the games at all, that game never attracted me. I was like, I'm not laying 6 with the Vikings or 6.5. And there's no way I'm not taking grapple on the 49ers. But now that the game approaches and I start crunching the numbers, it's a public play and it's going to go up to 7. Johnny Public, Kirk Cousins is going to smoke these guys, whatever. It's not the way the NFL works, right? I mean, with all the hype around the San Francisco 49ers, there really isn't that much hype, to be honest. I'm surprised there isn't more. Because you remember last year, look, and you got to give credit, Jimmy Garoppolo was 6-1 against the spread, man. That's real. So people were like, Jimmy G this, Jimmy G that, San Francisco, they're going to the Super Bowl, like all this, like people – just started talking so much about the 49ers coming into this year, but it's really died down. And their win total is 8.5. It's not like they're favored to win the division or anything. The odds makers aren't as impressed. The thing that gets me about Frisco is McKinnon's injury, Babano. That's, I prefer to have a healthy McKinnon out there. That's the problem, too.
That's going to be the issue here for the 49ers for sure. I mean, who are you going to go with now? You're looking at Alfred Morris, Matt Breida now at the running back spot for this 49ers team. That's a big drop-off. It has potential to be Morris is serviceable, but I think Jerick McKinnon was really going to provide a spark for this 49ers offense. The one thing about Jimmy Garoppolo, and you're going to hear this stat a lot, he's undefeated still as a starter, has not lost as a starting quarterback. I do say one thing about Jimmy. I don't think he's going to be fazed or intimidated or quaking in his boots going into Minnesota playing this elite defense. I think he's got that kind of moxie about him, that kind of confidence about him. I think he goes onto the field knowing I can be successful. No defense is going to scare me. Whatever they scheme, I find I can be successful, make the throws I need to make the correct reads I need to make. He seems to have that kind of poise and confidence about him. So I don't think if he plays bad, it's because he plays bad. It's not because he's scared. He's intimidated. He just has a bad game against a great defense. But to me, this is the test for Minnesota. I think they're going to be in tough to be a point spread winner this year, a winning point spread team. I lean San Francisco, but I'm staying away. Just a lean.
One thing, and I've made a lot of money with this over the years.
The one thing I do want to point out quickly, Gabe, people are going to make a big deal early start for a West Coast team traveling east, but it's week 1. That really takes away a lot from the troublesome, bad scheduling spot that this could be otherwise.
I agree about that too. One thing about Zimmer is he fucking feasts on non-division opponents. Like all of his, like you look at his record in the NFL, specifically against the spread, he's freaking dominant, man, against non-division opponents. Like it's like 28-10 now or something like that. I actually have the number here. What is it? Where is it? Now, listen, I'm not taking the San Francisco 49ers in the super contest, but I think like you were talking about Cleveland, Minnesota, or more so Kirk Cousins has to prove it to me. Let's see him go out there and shred this fucking team. I'm not so sure he can or will. Yeah, well, here he is.
If San Francisco, though,
Kirk Cousins' career record, Babano, what do you think it is, a starter? He's 28-31.
It's got to be, I was going to say, just below 500.
Got a losing record as a starting quarter. That's not even against the spread.
I was going to give him 500 or one game below 500. He's actually 3 below. Wow. Again, it's big games that bother me.
32-10 against the spread, against non-division. Jimmy Garoppolo, 7-0 straight up, 6-1 as a starter.
The thing with Kirk Cousins, and this is what's bothered me about him, he can play great, tremendous football in week 2 against Cleveland or against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or one of these also ran football teams. But when it's a big time, we need to win the game to get in the playoffs or to win a playoff game against a pretty decent or better team, that's when he stubs his toe, Kirk Cousins. That's when he doesn't get the job done. And that's that basically rhetoric, and that is that history and that track record that he's got to shake now that he's in Minnesota. No excuses anymore. You got an elite defense, an elite head coach. You got a great defense. You got they've upgraded the offensive line the last year or two. It's time to get it done for Kirk Cousins in the big games now with the Vikings.
Hey, Sonny Vega, good to see you, bro. That's the thing. It's one thing to throw for 310 yards and fucking look all pouty and angry all the time. And when the Redskins are 7-9 or whatever, and there's no pressure. I'm not saying there's no pressure playing for Washington, but it's different now. Now it's like, dude, like they just paid you all this money. Like Kirk Cousins, you're supposed to beat Aaron Rodgers head to head. You know what I mean? Like that's the deal now. You're supposed to beat Aaron Rodgers head to head. You're supposed to beat Cam Newton head to head now. We expect you to beat these teams and play at that level. And he's never played at that level before.
Nope.
He's never played that level. I don't care that he threw for 380 yards once and blah, 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 blah. Even going back to Michigan State, the motherfucker, he's a grinder, but he's not this star quarterback. He just happened to fucking, the franchise tag, and he had the little bidding war. But in reality, there was no bidding war. The New York Jets offered him money and the Minnesota Vikings offered him money. It wasn't like a million teams fucking offered him money,
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't like every team was like, we need Kirk Cousins. He did a good job of marketing himself and making it seem like he was this hot commodity. But in reality, ultimately, the New York Jets offered him a deal and the Minnesota Vikings did.
Yeah, it wasn't a big-time lineup and a parade to the Kirk Cousins sign a new contract front door, knocking on it.
I said it. And look, Jacob said he's a Redskin fan. I said it, that I think Alex Smith is better. I personally think Alex Smith is better. Kirk Cousins might have a better arm and shit.
He does, but
all the Redskin players are already saying that, yeah, we got a leader at quarterback. We just don't have sort of a guy. We got a leader here in Alex Smith now.
Well, if Kirk Cousins is going to the Minnesota Vikings to lead their offense at the quarterback spot 2 years ago, I'm a little bit more concerned because of the people around him. They had a terrible offensive line 2 years ago. They didn't have great skill position talent. Now you have a better offensive line. You've got guys that have established as great skill position talents on this team. Stephon Diggs has proven himself as a number one receiver. Adam Thielen has proven himself as a good, capable second option.
Well, dude, you got Dalvin Cook. You got
Dalvin Cook back from injury.
You got a lot.
Yeah. Exactly. You got weapons now. You got an offensive line that's better. The
He'll be
defense
fine.
is great. Come on, Kirk Cousins. It's time now. This is it. It's got to happen for him.
Okay, I'm not laying 6.5. This game, like my boy Rocky's saying, who we met in Vegas, and this game's coming down to the wire. I'm telling you, it's going to come down to the wire. All right, let's move on.
That one was worth talking a little longer about. That's a great game. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Very intriguing game, Niners and Vikings. Cincy, Indy, am I crazy for liking the redheaded stepchild here, Andy Dalton, +3?
No, I like the Bengals here too. The problem is the market. You notice it's fucking 2.5 now, and it's inching. And
do I make a big deal out of the fact that the Bengals mauled and destroyed and sent that Bills offensive line into oblivion in that week 3 dress rehearsal game?
Bengals have a lot of talent.
Atkins and Dunlap, I mean, they're elite pass rushers, and they just were in that Bills backfield.
They're nasty. Their defense is nasty. Dalton is Dalton, right? He's going to make a mistake during, not really mistake. He'll make a mistake, but he leaves points on the field and it haunts them late. It's like, fuck, if you just would have scored that extra touchdown, bro, you'd win the game. Like, he's one play away all the time from like taking it to the next level.
Yep.
But the Bengals remind me of LSU coming into this year, in which everyone sort of mocks them and they're down and no one's talking about them. But following the Bengals a little bit and studying up on them, they've had a pretty smash mouth type of camp. Like, they're kind of frothing at the mouth to get out there. And they've got a lot of young players, man. They got Mixon. They got John Ross when he's on the field is fast as fuck. Don't forget they got A.J. Green. A.J. Green's ranked number 4 this week in fantasy projections, that wide receiver. The Indianapolis Colts secondary has no answer for that. They have no answer for Green. They have no answer for John Ross. Andrew Luck is back, but Luck only played sporadically in the preseason. It's his first game back, and you got the nasty Bengals who will hit him late. Like, they're dirty, so they will hit him. Yeah, it's good.
Ask Josh Allen how much pain he was feeling after that preseason game.
It's good that Luck is back. It's good for them. It's good for football. But ultimately, I don't think Andrew Luck is going to be a miracle worker in week 1 here with this Colts team. I just think the Bengals are a more deeper team. And obviously, there's, I hate using the sharps because I hate that term, but let's say some strong early money agrees because the number's coming down, man. And no public guy just bet the Bengals and move the number with a $20 bet. I'll tell you that much.
I can only take I'm going to take Cincinnati. This will be on the card in some form. Cincinnati +3. And I've never been a huge Marvin Lewis fan nor a huge Andy Dalton fan, but I see that defense as being not just a little bit better than the Colt defense, a lot better than the Colt defense. And that's attractive. Going on the road, catching points as an underdog to me. I think they can wreak havoc on a Colts offensive line that I still think is terrible. I think this is still a bottom 5. Maybe if you're generous, bottom 10 offensive line.
Fob is he's a big Colt fan, actually, and he was saying the Bengals. It's it. Everyone's like, oh, Andrew Luck's back, so let's make them favorites again. Dude, you got Andrew Luck. You got T.Y. Hilton. I like Jack Doyle. Yep. Jack Doyle's a nice fantasy pickup at tight end, but the Colts are still rebuilding right now. I just think the Bengals are further along. And like I said, I like the fact that the Bengals get mocked and shit. I think that they've got a chip on their shoulder coming into this year.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't love the skill position talent either, but it's the offensive. There's one offensive lineman I like on the Colts. That's Costanzo. I think he might be a guy that I'd take on my team. The rest of them, I could live without him as far as I'm concerned. And I think they're going to struggle here with that ferocious Cincinnati Bengals pass rush. How about Tyler Eifert? Nobody talks about that. If this guy can stay healthy finally for a season at tight end for the Bengals, finally it's that weapon over the middle. They had good rapport, Eifert and Dalton, before he got hurt, and that's been his issue, Tyler Eifert. Can you stay healthy, be on the field, get in rhythm and chemistry with Dalton, which you showed you were able to do in the past? They can. That's a good combination for Andy Dalton, finding Tyler Eifert over the middle. So I'm with you. I like Cincinnati here, +3. I'm not sure the Colts deserve to be favored right off the hop in week 1 because Andrew Luck's back. What's going on here? I think Gabe's frozen. Are you guys still with me here? Are you watching? Let me see. I got to go to the YouTube feed here. What's going on? Yeah, it looks like Gabe is gone here. Gabe is frozen. I can see. Hopefully he can exit out and go back in. So hopefully Gabe's going to be with us here momentarily on the late night anger management class. He's just a frozen still image of him I'm seeing on my screen right now. So hopefully he rejoins us momentarily. That damn hotel Wi-Fi apparently at it again. What else is new? By the way, a Golden Nugget was a great place in Las Vegas. The Wi-Fi there, too, was a little spotty. It's a hotel thing. You're just not consistently going to get that breeze Wi-Fi half the time when it comes to these hotels. I mean, every time I've stayed in a 4-star hotel for Christ's sake before, and I've not had great Wi-Fi in that hotel during my run. So it is what it is. That's the price you got to pay sometimes when you got to travel and stay in places you're not used to. You got to deal with the crap ass unreliable Wi-Fi connection sometimes. Looks like Gabe's back. Here we go. As I ranted about how Wi-Fi in hotels can be so shitty sometimes. How are you, Gabe?
No, the Wi-Fi is fine, but for some reason it signs me in and out at 11 o'clock at night all the time.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
I just basically had to spend another fucking $9.99 to do another hour of this show. Fuck.
Yes, Wally George, I do think Saskatchewan has the chance to win the Grey Cup now. They're on a roll. They're playing great. Kolaros has been great. They got a chance. I'm not going to say they will. They got a chance at the price you can get now.
Wally George in the CFL, everybody's got a chance to win the Grey Cup.
Exactly. Except maybe the Argos after what I saw the other day from them.
The Argos, anyone can win. So you get in the playoffs.
That's true. Get in. Yep. Get hot. That's what the Argos did last year. Yeah.
So I hate to say it. Besides, really, the only teams that never win the fucking Grey Cup are you guys and Winnipeg.
Yeah, we're waiting for 20 years since Danny Mack led us there in '99 with Ron Lancaster. So we've been waiting a while. Too long.
Years, exactly.
Yeah. How is that possible? A 20-year drought in 19 league.
They won last year. You guys, 20 years in a fucking 18 week.
I know. It's disgraceful. Way to go, Ticats. Not eat them raw. We're getting eaten raw.
The last 20 years, like 37 years or something.
That's the longest drought, Winnipeg. They have not won. I don't even think they've won since I've been born, and that was 85. So that's a really bad drought. That's a terrible drought in an 8-9 team league. That's brutal. Holy shit. How do you not get it done once?
I was pulling for them. I was at the Grey Cup once. It was Winnipeg versus Saskatchewan. I was pulling for Winnipeg. I bet they covered too. Remember Spencer Dinwiddie from fucking Boise State, quarterback.
That's right. That's a good decade ago at least. No doubt about it. All right, so there's our CFL interlude. Hey, look what's next on the rotation. Gabe's Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore laying 7.5, total 40.5, 41. I don't want Buffalo here. That's all I'll say. I'm not ready to lay it with Baltimore either, but I don't want the Bills. What do you say, Gabe?
It's hard to take the Bills with the offensive line issues that they have. But when I make an argument in this game that I don't know if the Ravens offense is justifiably 8-point favorites. And the Buffalo Bill defense is an elite defense. You want to win eight. You got to win a football game by 8 points with Joe Flacco at quarterback and the Ravens. Yeah, I understand they're supposed to be better, and I do like Alex Collins this year. But to me, this game, I mean, I think the line is what it is because people think Nate Peterman's terrible and he's going to throw like 1 million interceptions or something like that again. I think the number's a little too high. I can't advocate the Bills as a best bet or anything, but this is another one where I think that people are just going, oh, the Bills suck and the Bills this. I think people are underestimating the Bills. I think Baltimore wins the game, but I think Buffalo covers, to be honest.
Let's keep in mind too, and I don't like the decision, to be honest, to put Peterman in week 1, but Peterman really was thrown in there against that Chargers team last year when he had that start. It was last minute. It was one of those weird situations where suddenly it was announced Peterman's in there. He has very little time to really get his bearings together, get ready for that start. At least he has that, at his disposal here. He knows he's a starter early in the week. He's got a little more time to get ready, get the game plan against this Baltimore defense. At least it sets him up in theory, Gabe, for more success based on that situational element than maybe prior to when he started against the Chargers and was a disaster last year. So he's got that going for him anyway.
To me, it comes down to the Buffalo Bill defense. And they bring in Vontae Davis, all right? Vontae Davis is still a very good cornerback. So you got Vontae Davis. Trey White's one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. And you look last year, they went to, the Jaguars this, the Jaguars that. The fucking Bills, that game was 7-3. We watched it in Vancouver. The game was 7-3. The Bills just couldn't fucking get in the end zone. They could have won that fucking game against
It was there to be won. It was frustrating. Just do something on offense and they win that game.
And that's why Tyrod Taylor couldn't get it done, and they really pissed him off, and, they moved on. But people are underestimating the Bills' defense, and people are overestimating how bad they think Nate Peterman is. I just think the number's too high here. Like I said, I'm not saying that I'm not putting the Bills in the super contest, but I think the number's a little bit too high personally.
I love taking John Harbaugh on the Ravens in August in preseason. Doesn't mean in week one now that Joe Flacco's, remember, this is Joe Flacco in the game now, start to finish, and we know he's flighty as it gets sometimes at the quarterback spot. To lay 7.5 in week one, there's better bets to make than this one. So for me, I'm out of it.
The Bills opened up against Baltimore 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever. Same scenario. I mean, basically same shit. Oh, they're going to kill us. And and it was, Baltimore was favored by 6 or something. I think E.J. Manuel was the quarterback. Man, the Bills lost by 3. Fuck. And it was one of those maddening, man, they could have won games. I'm a Bills fan. I know. The Bills don't get blown out often. Like, the Bills aren't one of these teams that, they're terrible and they lose by 38 every week. The Bills are the Bills because they lose in the most weird, heartbreaking type fashion, right?
Yep.
They'd be like, dear God, we could have won the game, but fucking you stupid idiot, you fucking stepped out of bounds. It's like there's always some little thing with the Bills. It's not that they get smoked ever, really. I think it's a competitive game.
If you're Sean McDermott, one last point on this one. And you tell Nathan Peterman, ball security, when those defensive linemen, your CJ Mosleys and your Terrell Suggs are coming after you, you better damn well hang on to that ball because they're going to tee off with that pass rush. They know they're going against a vulnerable offensive line. You got to hang on to that ball. You can't be loose. You can't hold it out there like a loaf of bread or like a sack of flour. You got to be tight to your body, keep it in you there. And make sure you protect it because they're going to be blitzing a lot. I expect that pass rush to be a big-time focal point for the Ravens here.
Oh, they're going to try to get after Peterman, and it's going to be up to Peterman to make a play or two to buy some respect from them. The Bills' wide receiving core isn't bad. With Curley, I like Andre Holmes, and with Kelvin Benjamin, you got Charles Clay. I like McCoy. McCoy's all right. The problem with McCoy is he's going to get hurt at some point. Like you can just feel it coming with this guy.
It's almost like a question of when, not if anymore with his next injury.
Well, he's always slow getting up and he doesn't get to the corner anymore. He's still good, but he's not great anymore. And I would have liked to see the Bills draft a young running back, but I'll tell you what, Chris Ivory's running angry. Fuck. Like I wouldn't want to try to tackle Chris Ivory right now. I think the number's a little bit too high. I think we're going to see a lot of close competitive football games this week. I'm not really expecting too many blowouts in any of these games, to be honest. And here's another one, actually.
Jacksonville Giants, yeah.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people in the chat. It's like, looks like you guys in the chat are just betting every favorite this week.
Not the recipe for success in the end.
No, I know. And these guys are going to be on here Monday. I can't believe that I can't believe the Ravens couldn't beat the Bills. This is another one that's an ultra trap. I'll tell you what, the computers and the so-called sharps, everyone likes the Giants here. And it's interesting that the Jags are all this hype team, yet they're only 3-point favorites.
I'm going to take the Giants here for something, +3. And I wasn't going to initially, but I didn't think Blake Bortles it was possible for him to play worse in the preseason than he did. He was atrocious.
Blake Bortles is
pathetic in the preseason.
Blake Bortles is 6-24.
Yeah.
On the road as a starter. So he started on the road in 30 games. He's only won 6 of them.
That's not good. And now you're laying 3 on the road. And I think Jacksonville's regressing a little bit. That's still a decent team. You got to like their defense still, no question about that. But, on the road against the Giants defensively, I think they've made some improvements in the offseason with what they've done. They've got Olivier Vernon and company. They can still get after a guy like Blake Bortles. I think it's going to be a concern to trust them in this role, especially after what I saw from him in the preseason. He was dreadful. You're going to have to hope like hell Leonard Fournette is just the catalyst and carries this team offensively because I don't know what Bortles is going to do through the air here on the road other than maybe throw a pick or two to the other team. He was really that pathetic and porous in the preseason.
It is hard to fully buy into the New York Giants on the other side.
Yep. They've got concerns too.
We don't know, right? I don't put too much emphasis on the preseason. With me, Babano, I look more at preseason how the individual players play as opposed to collective units. So I don't know. I don't know what the Giants are going to bring. I mean, 2 years ago, the Giants' defense was very good. Last year, they were fucking atrocious and was the same players. This year, I mean, if the Giants' defense makes a couple of plays, dude, their offense is a fucking load to deal with. You got Odell Beckham, you got Sterling Shepard, you got fucking Evan Engram, who's a great young tight end. And oh, yeah,
Exactly.
Saquon Barkley coming out of the backfield. You bring in Nate Soldier. You drafted the Will Hernandez kid. Like the Giants, like filled a lot of holes. And this is a football team that's a double-digit win team just 2 years ago. I mean, we see this with Eli Manning. He can be terrible and he can win a Super Bowl. You know, the Giants are an intriguing team this year, and I get the feeling that they're a live home dog in this game.
I believe in the Giants because I believe in a coach that is not just a little bit, 1,000, 1,000,000 times an upgrade from what they had before in Ben McAdoo. It's not even close. I mean, Pat Shurmur is going to be organized. He's going to be ready. He's going to be prepared. He's going to put his players in positions to win. He's going to put Eli Manning in positions where he doesn't wonder what the hell he's doing, looking around left and right, confused, not getting the play calls in time, which was a McAdoo issue time and time again. No, Shurmur's going to have Eli Manning. Eli Manning could still screw up, believe me. I mean, he could still make a terrible decision, not set his feet properly because Eli does that sometimes. But Shurmur is going to have him better set up for success here. I'm going to bite. I'm going to bite with the bait here, take a shot. G-Men plus the 3, maybe to win outright.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's only 3. That game catches my eye. So just blasting through them. We got the Eagles. We talked about the Bills, Ravens, Bengals, Colts, Texans, Patriots. Here's another dog I liked. Look, they played last year. I think it was Deshaun Watson's first game, actually. And he put up 33 points on them. They lost 36-33. Now they get an opportunity to go back there again. Tough scheduling spot for Houston to open up. But I say, I'm going to go on record. I'll give my final Super Bowl pick, I guess, on Friday, my bold prediction. But I think Houston's the team that can knock New England off this year in this conference. And it's got to start here. I don't know if a moral victory is any good here anymore for Houston. Like losing 36-33 again, what you did that last year. I want to see Houston go in here and win this game outright. But I think this game is going to be a track meet. The over-under is 51. They're going to go up and down the fucking field on each other here. And I think whoever has the ball last wins. Give me the 6.5 points and give me the over.
Yeah, before that, we had quickly on Tampa, New Orleans. New Orleans, I'd throw them in a money line parlay. That's all I'll do with this game. I'm not laying 9.5, but I do think they'll win that.
Cover that. You can't bet that.
Yeah, exactly. I'd put them in. I usually do one money line favorite parlay a week in the NFL. New Orleans will be part of that. I agree with you on Houston. Maybe it's crazy, but I think this is probably my top play in week 1. Honestly, it's Houston plus the points. It really is. Maybe it's crazy to be doing this against New England, but to me, this is maybe not the same New England this year. I've got concerns. I got concerns about even the offense. Brady and company against Carolina in the week 3 game, they didn't look good. They were out of sync, out of rhythm, didn't look sharp. This defense has been carved up a little bit here in the preseason, the number 1 Patriot defense, I'm saying as well. Again, if you're Bill O'Brien, just call the plays, get Deshaun Watson ready, and just stay out of the way. Let Deshaun Watson do his thing, because I think if he stays healthy, he's got the potential to have a very, very good season. This Houston offense has the potential to be very good. It's time to give DeAndre Hopkins some of the love that he doesn't get like other receivers. We talk about them ad nauseum. We don't give DeAndre Hopkins at times the respect he deserves. I think he's going to be a big part of what the Texans do. To me, there's enough concerns with New England for the first time in a while on both sides of the ball starting a new season to warrant going against them here in this kind of price range where they're going to have to win by a touchdown or more to cover. I think Houston is live. And if they win outright, remember, New England dropped a home game in week 1 last year to Kansas City. I think Houston very live could win this game outright. Sprinkle on that money line. That's what I'm doing. A little plus 260 action around that price with Houston. Worth a shot to me. They can win.
Down now, plus 215 only.
Oh,
yeah, I know. They know as well.
Not as good of a price on it there, but still worth a sprinkle.
All right, you mentioned the Saints game. That's a good survivor pick. Saints will win, but the Saints might win by 14. They might win by 7. Fitzpatrick can backdoor cover it. I don't think it's a good bet. I would take a look at the over 49.5. We're not doing our NFL best bets right now or anything, but I'd look at the over 49.5. Titans-Dolphins game, it's interesting, but I have no interest in betting it. I'm intrigued to see who wins the game, but I'm not touching this game, man. I want no part of this one. And
two mediocre teams, 2 mediocre preseasons from the starting units on both teams. It's a watch and observe game for me. Tennessee, Miami, all the way.
Exactly. I'm intrigued by who how they look, but I'm not betting it.
I'm interested to see which quarterback steps up. Which quarterback looks more fluid in these offenses? Because Adam Gase's offense has gotten criticism at times. Tennessee's offense was ripped apart. Malarkey and Robisky did a horrible job. They finally got a decent offensive coordinator in there. But now it's time for Mariota to put up or shut up. He's got to take another step. You got rid of all the bad coaching, bad offensive game plans. The people that were offensive game planning for this team. You've got a good coordinator in there. They brought him over from Sean McVay. And the Rams, this guy for Tennessee, who's their OC now, LaFleur. It's time for Mariota to get it done now. He's got people that can coach him now. Now he's got to show what he's all about this season.
Yeah, I can't disagree. So this next game, this one, you and I, we talked about the Chiefs, and for the record, I never said I don't think the Chiefs, I didn't disagree with your overplays, but I just wanted to state I still thought they could still win 7.5 games, right? Because Andy Reid's been in the league 18 years, and he's 16-2 to the over 7.5 as far as wins in his seasons are concerned. But with that being stated, listen, the Kansas City Chiefs have beaten these guys, Babano. I don't need to tell you this, but for people who don't know in the chat, 8 straight times. The Kansas City Chiefs have beaten the Chargers 8 straight times. Doesn't matter, man. San Diego, LA, Kansas City, they beat them. They're beaten 4 straight times on the road, 4 straight times at home. Is this the different time? And to me, this is a lot like the Cleveland Brown game in a sense. If the Browns lose, man, it's like, holy fuck, the bubble burst, all the hype coming into the year. There's certain teams where the season's almost on stake in week 1. And to me, this is almost for the Chargers. The Chargers, actually, you and I both like the Texans a lot to maybe win the conference. There's a lot of people that think the Chargers are going to the Super Bowl, and they don't realize the Chargers are the Buffalo Bills of the West. They always fuck it up somehow, or they get injured. They got bad luck. It's one thing after another. And I kind of get the feeling that the Chargers beat Mahomes in week 1, and the game goes over the number.
I agree. I'm on Chargers and over. I've got to stick with it, and I know that I know I'm getting 0 home field edge. If you realize the Chiefs are gonna have more fans there than Charger fans. I get it. I totally understand that. And I fully realize that making this bet here, but there was not much to like at all, in my opinion, with the Chiefs preseason on either side of the ball, but especially that pathetic defense. They were torn apart on the ground. They were torn apart through the air. I'm watching Chase Daniel, for crying out loud, of the Chicago Bears, going up and down the field like a hot knife through butter against Kansas City's defense. That's a concern. And it wasn't any better the week before that. It wasn't better in the first preseason game. They got issues. They're a declining defense. They're going to be an over team, as I've said, and I think we see it here. I think the Chargers are good for 30 points, 30, 31, 35. I like this Chargers offense a lot. Phillip Rivers looked good in the preseason. Melvin Gordon, running back. Please keep Keenan Allen healthy if they can. What a big weapon he is at wide receiver. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes has got question marks here. He was an up and down preseason for him and didn't really show. He was totally locked into this Andy Reid offense just right off the hop here. Having said that, I do think Kansas City will score enough to get this game over the total, and the Chargers will take care of the rest. I'm going to say something like 35-24, something like that for LA Chargers, and the game goes over the number.
Fucking Yankees down 6-0, cocksuckers. All right. I can't disagree. I think the winner gets into the 30s, and Mahomes will make plays, but he'll turn it over late. They're saying, the Chargers win the game. Panthers are 3-point favorites in this game. I'm telling you, I'm starting to think the Cowboys will be a little better than people will give them credit for. I think they can go over their win total, potentially win 9 games this year. But
you got to be on Carolina. You've been singing their praises all summer.
I don't have a choice. Well, now, yeah, if I'm going to win that bet over 8.5, they better win this game. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Can't back out now.
They will. But the only thing is, I think, dude, I didn't even look at the total. All right. Somebody asked me last night, I guess. I didn't even look at the total. Or it was yesterday, whatever. And they said, what do you think of this game? And I said, I don't know. I could kind of see Carolina winning 23-20. And they're 3-point favorites. The total's 43. That's the way I look at this game. I think it'll be close. I don't think Carolina blow them out, but I think Carolina wins the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would only take Carolina here. I like the under more. Actually, that's my big bet on this game is the under 43. You've got Dallas. What are they going to do on offense? Lots of Zeke Elliott. Tick, 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 tick. Time of possession. Control the ball. 8-minute drives. That's the MO now for Dallas offensively. It's just sit on the ball, long drives, keep the offense on the field as long as possible. Carolina's probably going to be a lot like that. I mean, Carolina, to me, their passing game has been spotty in the preseason. I think they're going to use McCaffrey a lot, running the ball to him, little short screen passes, try to negate that Dallas pass rush, which I think's got the potential to be good, Gabe. I will give Dallas credit there. This could be a really good defensive line with DeMarcus Lawrence and company. DeMarcus Lawrence, David Irving, if he can stay healthy, for crying out loud, finally.
Tackle Charlton.
Exactly. That's going to be a good pass rush, and that's going to be an issue for Carolina. The offensive line's still a little sketchy to me. See if they can hold up against it here in this game. I think Carolina just does a little bit more offensively. It's probably a tight game. Carolina just does enough to cover. I think Carolina's worth a little look, but my bigger opinion on this game is the under. I think we get something 21-17, something like that. I know it's 43, it's low, but neither team's going to play with pace. A lot of running the football on both sides. We stay under the total, I think, in this one.
I'm not, you look at Seattle and Denver. Denver are interesting. We'll see what Case Keenum brings to the table for them. Yeah, one thing we do know about Denver, they're fucking dominant in week ones, if you believe in that, Babano. Like, they find ways to win. I think they're 7-1, their last 8 home openers at home. Seattle, to me, have a lot of problems. Russell Wilson's amazing, but I think he's going to be in here a little bit tough in this spot. I think Denver does enough on their home field to win this football game.
I agree. I think I am in on Denver here. Anything less than a field goal, I'd go. It's Denver at home. Case Keenum, I thought, showed better signs in the dress rehearsal game. I mean, the first couple of weeks he sort of scuffled a bit, but it was better there. I think that offense is going to come gradually for him, and that Denver defense is still going to be a torture chamber, I think, for Seattle here. Devoid of skill position talent, devoid of an offensive line that I think is capable of blocking the likes of Bradley Chubb and Von Miller and guys like that. Good luck trying to keep those pass rushers off Russell Wilson. This is going to be Russell Wilson improvisation, running around in circles, just trying to buy some time and finally throw up a prayer down the field that hopefully gets caught by Doug Baldwin, the one weapon they have at wide receiver. That's going to be Seattle's offense, I envision, going into this game. So
it should be a low-scoring game this game.
It should be. But I just don't think Seattle's been – when Seattle had great teams, Gabe, under Pete Carroll, winning Super Bowls, going to Super Bowls, they were still an average team at times on the road. Now they're not a very good team, and now you're going to ask them to win on the road with an even much worse team than they've had in years past? I can't, so I'm with you on Denver here. I think they win.
I agree. This next game, Washington, Arizona, I've been pumping Arizona's tires for a while. And go over 5.5, go over 5.5. And then I looked at this game. I'm like, man, it's a pick 'em. It's 1 point at home. Like, hard not to like them here. I do have a lot of respect for Alex Smith. That's the thing. But I think Arizona, people are sleeping on these guys a little bit. I'm really impressed with Coach Steve Wilkes. Sam Bradford's a good quarterback as long as he's on the field, right? I think he will be able to move the ball. I think people underestimate just how good David Johnson is. I mean, really, you look, man, like the Arizona Cardinals just have a shitload of more better football players than the Washington Redskins do, and the game's a pick 'em, essentially.
This is a game I'm staying away from, but I'll say this. Both teams are coming into this game confident. I've heard great quotes from Arizona's camp after preseason. They like Steve Wilkes. They like the direction he's taken this team. But I'm hearing good things about Alex Smith and everything that I've heard out of Washington, that they're reinvigorated with him now at the quarterback spot, that they feel the defense going to be not only healthier but better for the Redskins this season. So there's a lot to like. I'm hearing lots of confidence from both the Redskins and the Cardinals going this game here on Sunday. So to me, it's a tough one. I think there's potential, a little bit of upside for both of these teams. So I'm just sit back, see how it goes in this one.
Yeah. No, you can't bet every game. I get it. This next one, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Listen, with Khalil Mack coming in here, their numbers come down a little bit. Mack's going to play a bit, but I don't know what kind of impact it's going to have on a football game. The Packers historically have owned the Chicago Bears and beat them up in this spot for the most part. I could live. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears hung around in this game a bit, but I would have the Packers. Like you said, I hate to be so public here, Babano, but let's see what a Packers Saint moneyline parlay plays.
If I had a lick of confidence, what's the conundrum for me with this Sunday night game, and it's given me a headache the couple days I've been thinking about it and sitting on it, is I really want to take this many points with that Bears defense, potential defense that they're going to be putting out there on the field on a weekly basis. But And that Green Bay defense to me is still there for the taking. You could make plays still against them. They've got to show me that they can take a step forward
Packers don't
in
really
that
blow
side of
people
the
out either.
football.
They play a lot of close games.
They do. But can Mitch Trubisky on the road at Lambeau Sunday night with all the energy for Aaron Rodgers being back for week 1 and all
I
of
think
that be enough for him to move
Packers
that ball? I
the
didn't like
Packers win,
Trubisky's
but
preseason.
it'll be one of these deals where Al Michaels at the end of the night will be saying, "Well, Aaron Rodgers won, but you can tell the Bears are getting better." You know what I mean? It'll be one of those. I think the Bears will show some moments in the game, but ultimately the Packers will find a way to win it.
See what I'm getting at? I think Green Bay's offense is really good, is great, but they're going up against a defense that I think can show resistance. And on the flip side, I think the Packers defense is vulnerable, there to be had, but I'm not sure the Bears offense is the unit that is there to take advantage of it. So you got like a little bit of a conundrum handicapping the matchup on either side of the football with these two teams. It's making it a really tough game for me to really get a real good read on right now. I'd lean Chicago. I want to throw a lean out there. I'd take Chicago before I'd take Green Bay. I think getting over a touchdown in divisional games with a good defense is still the way to go, but it's not something I would have supreme confidence in.
New York Jets, Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football. We got the Rams and the Raiders. The number climbed up to 4. It hasn't moved since then. I've said it, we've been talking a lot about the dogs all night here. This is another trap game, I think, with the Lions laying 6.5. People are going to look and, well, the New York Jets suck, and Sam Darnold making his first start on the road. What the hell has Matt Patricia's ever done? Like, it's Matt Patricia. So you got a rookie quarterback versus a rookie coach, and I don't even think Matt Patricia should be a coach. I know Sam Darnold should be a quarterback. So, the Jets are a physical team defensively, man. And I've been talking a lot about quarterbacks and ATS records, but Matt Stafford has only covered 42% of the games that he's played in. He's a money burner, this guy. The Lions are money burners, and now you're going to lay 6.5 on Monday Night Football. It's too many points.
And I don't have the record off the top of my head, but I said this on the pre-snap reads SBR show earlier today. If you've been laying more than a field goal routinely over the years with the Detroit Lions, you're not doing well. You're flat out not doing well. They don't win by margin. They're in close games. They're behind usually in the fourth quarter, and they've had to come back and win games. When do you see the Detroit Lions win by a touchdown or more? It doesn't happen very often. Really doesn't. So I'm on the Jets here. I know it's a rookie quarterback on the road here, first start in Sam Darnold, but I think Sam Darnold's poise in this preseason has been remarkable to watch. I think control. He hasn't been panicked. He's grasped the offense maybe quicker than people thought. I've been impressed with him here. And it's not like Detroit's defense with Matt Patricia is going to be clicking in week 1. This is a defensive coordinator that got absolutely his brains beat in by Doug Peterson from a scheming and a prep standpoint in the Super Bowl. And again, we've got a long track record of failure with Bill Belichick pupils becoming head coaches. I don't need to repeat that again because I've done it enough already.
The Lions aren't the most physical team either. The Jets are.
And their defense is there to be had.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Ziggy Ansah. You're scared of Ziggy Ansah. That's about it on that Lion defense these days from a defense line standpoint. And that's secondary. I think you can pass against them. If Sam Darnold makes good reads, which I think he's shown it he can do here in the preseason, Jets can be in this game. Win it, we'll see. But I think they get inside that number. It's just too many points for me to lay with Detroit. I don't trust them.
Yeah, I think it's a battle. I think it's a battle. Detroit probably win by a field goal or 4 or something, whatever. Like one of those. Matt Stafford, we talk about it. He's only covered 42% of his points, the games that he started. Yeah, we also know Matt Stafford. You'll hear it every year. And, Matt Stafford, this is his 23rd comeback in the fourth quarter. Yeah, what does that mean, Babano? It means, like you said, it means they're never up. They're always underachieving. They're always like he's come back 22 times. He's also lost fucking 28 times in the fourth quarter too. Like, it just means that every game is close. It doesn't mean that he's some comeback king.
At this price range, you got to hope that the Lions are up by more than a touchdown because the back door's still open, even if they're up by 7 or 10 or even 13 in this game. And the back door's still wide open for the Jets, even if they're down by that amount. This is not the price range I have any lick of confidence or trust in with the Detroit Lions. Last year it was that way. 2 years ago it was that way, and it's that way now too.
So the Raiders game, they're getting 4. They're at home. The Raiders are pretty much a systematic mess right now. The public really will hammer the Rams for the most part. although it hasn't really moved from 4. It's been stuck at 4 right now. What do you think? You think it's a trap, or you think the Rams go in there and roll them?
I think I could only take LA Rams here. But again, we're talking about 3-point move here. They opened 1 over the summer. It's 4 now, pretty much. Yeah, -4 on the road here against Oakland. But Oakland's got question marks. You've got Derek Carr in press conferences ultimately questioning, I'm disappointed and a little stunned that Khalil Mack's traded. I mean, that is a reverberating issue now permeating itself in the Raiders' dressing locker room going into this season. People scratching their heads saying, what the hell is Chucky doing here? Trading Khalil Mack.
One thing, though, it was stupid. I get it. It wasn't in the sense that at least they're being honest. And listen, the Raiders weren't going anywhere even with Khalil Mack, to be honest. And, it's really all about Las Vegas. I think they've realized that. It's like, listen, fuck, we're not going anywhere now. Let's get the draft picks. And let's make sure that when we go to Las Vegas, we actually, we have a decent team as opposed to spinning our wheels right now.
I think it's a lot of moving parts with this Oakland team. I'll give Oakland one thing. They've looked like they've focused entirely on the offensive side coming into this season. And their offense actually could be pretty good. They brought in the guy that's worked very well with quarterbacks. Gruden brought him in here to this Oakland coaching staff, try to take Derek Carr's game to that next level. Certainly got good skill position talent that you like here, Oakland, especially at the receiver spot. They're going to be able to move the ball, I think, but their defense could be bottom 5 in the NFL this season, this Raiders defense. I don't know where the stops are going to come from. This is a team that under Jack Del Rio didn't have a great defense either by any stretch of the imagination.
Problem is they're old, right, too. They're the oldest team in modern history, 27 years old each. Amari Cooper, listen, he's good. He's going to have to hang on to the football. They lost Crabtree. Can Nelson stay healthy? I like Derek Carr at the quarterback position. Gruden's back in the league. There could be some growing pains with Gruden.
Yep.
I think the Rams are going to win the game.
I'm a big believer in the Rams. I love the Rams. I've liked the Rams last year when I saw them making those improvements. The hire of Sean McVay's proven to be a home run. He's a progressive thinker. He's an offensive he's gifted offensively. He's got a game plan that oftentimes last year was ahead of the defenses. Believe me, he has been sitting all summer getting a chance to scheme and prepare and get this Rams offense with Jared Goff and company ready to go against now this defense without Khalil Mack, a defense that I think wasn't going to be all that great even with Khalil Mack on it. And now you take him off it, and you've got major question marks here with the Raiders' ability to stop this level of offense. I think Rams probably cover. I think they'll win. I think they can cover the 4. I like the over even more in this game, 49.5. We get a little bit of a wild shootout Monday night with Joe Tessitore and Jason Witten in Oakland there on Monday night.
Good call. I don't think the Rams smoke them, but you're right. I think they win and sort of comfortable. They'll win by a touchdown or something, in a fun game, 28-21 or 30, They're, like you said, the Rams are going to be hard to contain. Fuck, they got a lot of weapons too.
They do. I mean, the Rams have upgraded this defense. There's no question. But the Rams' defense against better offenses, better quarterbacks last year, they were still susceptible at times. Have they improved that defense enough to make up for that this season? That remains to be seen. But I think they'll still win the game, the Rams. I like the over. What is it, 49.5? You can get to the 50s there, I think.
So at this time of the night, tomorrow night, people will be in a panic about this Atlanta-Philadelphia game.
Yeah, exactly. How about that? How about that, Gabe? We got through it. NFL, every game on the board. Who else is doing that on a Wednesday night but Gabe and I here?
Yeah, good job of Bannon. We did. You hit a couple of college games. I just got to take a quick leak and step out so you can hit the college. I'll be like 30, 90 seconds type thing. Starting here off the top, the first game on the board, shit's up to 22.5 right now. I prefer to 21 just because it's an even number, but I don't see how SMU are going to play here with TCU, Babano. And my only concern is the fact that TCU play Ohio State next week, but I don't think it matters. I think they'll just fucking win like 49-14 or something, 49-7, maybe 49-0. I think SMU will have a hard time. You talked about it last week. You said Sonny Dykes is incompetent, and dude, the final score wasn't really an indication.
They were down 34-0 to North Texas, for Christ's sake. Yeah.
I get North Texas have a good offense, but North Texas defense is terrible, Battle. Like SMU, you're supposed to score 40 in that game.
And that's the thing. They're shaking up the offense. Sonny Dykes wants more of a passing-oriented offense. They want to go even faster with him there. It's still a little bit of a shift from what they did with the Chad Morris days at SMU. So it's an adjustment period. They weren't ready for it. Don't be fooled by the fact that they got to the 20s in that game in points. I think 2 of those touchdowns were like in the last 2 minutes of the game. North Texas had already, coasted into the victory, into the winner's circle. They'd called it a night. They were ready to party the rest of the night. You can't put much faith into that. There's nothing that could get me on the SMU side here. None. Zero. No amount of points could get me there with SMU in this game. The one concern with TCU is they got the big showdown with Ohio State and Urban Meyer next week. Is there a look ahead? I don't know if there is or if there is or isn't. But even if there is, they could probably still win this game 3 touchdowns or more, even if they play a little bit mediocre or they turn the football over a bunch. I just don't see anything I like about SMU. I thought it was a bullshit hire, terrible hire, bringing Sonny Dykes in. Sonny Dykes is the guy that put Cal in the sewer. All right. He put the sewer and basically ran the water on it and tried to drown it, tried to drown that football program. That's how bad he was there at Cal. They had no defense. Look what Justin Wilcox did with Cal in 1 year at the helm. Made that team respectable on the defensive side of the football. Something Sonny Dykes couldn't do there with the Golden Bears. So, yeah.
Ripping on Sonny Dykes.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. TCU or nothing there. Let's see.
Arizona, Houston, down to 3.5 now. I don't know, man. Arizona didn't look too good. You think Arizona bounced back in this one?
I don't trust them. Kevin Sumlin's another guy that's bothering me right now. He didn't coach well at A&M last year. I thought that terrible collapse they had against UCLA last year.
He couldn't win at home even outright. Now you think he's going to hang around against Houston? It's true.
Yeah, it's a question of was BYU really good or Arizona really bad last weekend? I think it's a little of both, but I'm not ready to trust Arizona yet. Their offensive line was in a bad way going into this first game against BYU last week. I was reading reports that there were players shifting around, playing different positions on this Wildcats offensive line that they're not used to, and we saw the results. That BYU defensive front manhandled that brutal offensive line for Arizona. Khalil Tate had no room to run, couldn't get comfortable throwing the football either, and as a result, they end up losing at home to BYU. Unless I see something going into this game where I'm reading reports, and I got to check into it still, that Arizona's offensive line's getting healthier and getting some personnel back, starting personnel back on that offensive line. Unless I see that, I want no part of them because I don't trust them on the road moving the football with the O-line I saw last week against that BYU team. And the one thing about Houston is they're raving about this quarterback. They do think in time. Didn't show up in the first half, but once Kendall Briles and that offense got going in the second half against Rice last week, they couldn't be stopped. That could be a sign of good things to come for them going into this game. So I lean Houston, but likely going to stay off it. But if I had to play it, I'd look to the Cougs. Let's see what else have we got here. I think as we wait for Gabe to come back here. Interesting games here. UCLA, Oklahoma. Oklahoma taking a ton of money. It's what did you do for me last? What did I watch last? And what did people watch last when it comes to the Oklahoma Sooners? Absolutely pasting Florida Atlantic last week. Derailing the lane train in Norman. The lane train was on its way to Norman, and it got derailed by Kyler Murray and the Oklahoma Sooners. That was a destruction, a demolition last week against them. But are they able to do it 2 weeks in a row against at least it's a Power 5 foe now? UCLA. Problem is, we saw last week with UCLA, they got issues too. It's a brand new offense. It's totally 360 degrees different type of offense, UCLA with Chip Kelly, than it was last year with Jim Mora Jr. at the helm. So that's going to take time for the UCLA Bruins to get that offense in gear. So I'm not ready to trust the Bruins here, even getting this many points, but buyer beware with laying 30 with Oklahoma, all right? I mean, that was 1 week against Florida Atlantic. Doesn't mean they're going to be able to win by this kind of margin again this week here in this game. North Carolina, East Carolina. North Carolina lost to Cal. Weren't even really close in that game. They made it close late. Unfortunately, it was a bad push, I guess, if you got Cal -7, because they won exactly by 7 when they were up by as much as, I believe, 17 or 21 in that game. But I think North Carolina can absolutely whitewash East Carolina. Scotty Montgomery's got to be on his last legs there. Big man on campus. My buddies talked about it a lot. East Carolina is just a dreadful defensive team. Offensively, of course, they have Gardner Minshew transfer to Washington State. That's a problem. That offense got shut down, really, to be honest, by A&T last week, that loss at home to FCS North Carolina A&T. Now they've got North Carolina minus the A&T coming onto their home field here. I think North Carolina, I don't like laying big road favorites often, but I'd look to the Tar Heels there in that football game. Buffalo Temple, I kind of like Buffalo there. UB Bulls +5. Look, Temple lost to Villanova last week. That really surprised me because I actually did think Temple was going to be a pretty decent football team with Frank Newtile at quarterback, a pretty good defense. Second year now for Jeff Collins as the head coach of this Temple Owls team. And to be able, and I thought they'd be taking that next step, maybe even upper echelon, perhaps, maybe top 4 or 5 maybe in the AAC this season. Now it's one game. It's a rival, Temple and Villanova. It's an in-city rivalry. You always have to factor that in. Maybe discount losing to an in-city rival because it's that kind of matchup. But it's still a concerning loss to me for Temple. And this Buffalo team can play. Lance Leopold's finally got probably his best team he's had there. Tyree Jackson. Remember, they were down to their third-string quarterback, the Buffalo Bulls, last year, and they still got good quarterback play even with all the injuries last year. They got a good defense. It's always tough when you have a team that loses the kind of game Temple did and then go against them. Maybe Temple just flips a switch and they bounce back here. But, they're laying 5 against a good Buffalo team. I think the Bulls, are in that game from start to finish and maybe even can win that game outright, even though, I don't want to overreact to one loss for Temple, but it was enough of a concern. And I like Buffalo. This is more pro-Buffalo than anti-Temple. For me, looking at the Bulls there, plus the points. Georgia, South Carolina, I've said it a million times on other shows today. I like the over there. It's already gone up. Georgia, I think, has improved offensively, a little worse defensively. South Carolina is good offensively. They're middle of the pack still, in my opinion, defensively. Obviously, it's not going to show up against Coastal Carolina last week. They had their way, but they're going to have a tough time stopping Georgia. I think we get points in that Georgia-South Carolina game. Gabe's back.
That South Carolina, people are going to take it. Oh, Bentley this, South Carolina that. I think it's a trap.
A lot of people love South Carolina and the home dog. They like them as a home dog. There's a people on A&M as a home dog against Clemson. I'm not stepping in Clemson's way. I'm not doing it.
Clemson's going to kill Texas A&M.
I'm not doing that. Exactly. People saying, Jimbo Fisher's familiar with Clemson. How many times did he beat Clemson? How many times did he beat Clemson with Florida State lately?
That'll be like 48-14 or something like that.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I'll smoke him.
Yeah, I'm not on the A&M train. I'm not really on the South Carolina train. I like the
Northwestern train. I know you must have we talked about it. You must have went through it, but I'm surprised. Listen, I liked it at 3. It's down at 2.5 right now. So Duke's not beating Northwestern.
Yeah, Duke. Good. Hey, good on Duke. I like Duke laying the points against Army last week, but Army, that was more anti-Army. Army's really a train wreck right now offensively. Defensively, has taken a step back as well. It's a retooling kind of year for Army. Duke's got to show me they can do it now on the road this week against a solid Northwestern team, a Northwestern team that did everything they could, to be honest with you, last week to give Purdue that game. Yet somehow they were able to hang on to it. If they can clean up some of the mistakes, if Pat Fitzgerald can get his head on straight and leave Thorson in at quarterback from start to finish, Northwestern probably got a good chance to win that game.
Bano. All right, but Bano, before we get you out of here, people couple asking the games. Listen, I was all over Liberty last week. Hard not to take them +9 here again, actually, to be honest. Okay, it's somewhat of a letdown. I'm intrigued by K-State, but I don't want to get burned. I got to be selective. I do like Northwestern. I do like TCU. I think Nebraska -4 are going to beat Colorado. Iowa State I'm scared of now, Babano. I liked it all summer, but fucking Iowa, I'm worried about that game, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not. I like Iowa State. I'm staying with it. I'm sticking with it. I said Iowa State's one of my favorite teams to bet on coming into the season. I got to take them in this spot. Iowa, give them credit. Iowa was dominant in the second half against Northern Illinois. Just beat the Huskies' brains in and ran away with that football game. Can they do it 2 weeks in a row, though? And this, by the way, from what I've read out of Matt Campbell's team, this is their first game. They didn't play a game last week, so this is their first game of the season here, Iowa State. Extra time to prepare, and they lost a bitter, painful loss to Iowa last year in Ames. 3-point loss in overtime. They led by double digits. Iowa came back and beat them in overtime in Ames. This is a circled game for Matt Campbell's team in Iowa State. I think Iowa's in tough to win this game at all. I can take +4 over a field goal in a rivalry game with a team that's focused and motivated and very angry and wanting to big time avenge that loss last year. I'll take Iowa State all day +4.
All right, 2 more games before we get you out of here. Just one of them. FAU got fucking smashed last week against Oklahoma. Yeah, they're still a good football team. You know, they got smashed. It is what it is. They lost by 22 last year in week 1, and they had still had a very good year, obviously. They're laying, what is it, 9.5? Where is it here? Let's see. It's like 9.5, 10 against fucking Air Force. I think they smashed them, though. I think that's the one. It's 9.5. I think that's the route. And listen, you and I talked in the summertime, and I know you like Pitt. I like Pitt, too. And we sort of had this game circled, but fuck, man. After that App State game, the spread's only 9 points right now.
Yeah, you're getting a lesser spread, but I'm sticking with it. I really am. I thought I was.
I think Pitt can get it done, too. I think it comes down to the wire.
Down to the wire. I mean, we don't even need Pitt to win the game. Just hang within 7. You can get a backdoor score if you're down 10 or 14. That gets the job done for us. And I like Kenny Pickett. The offense is going in a good direction with this Pitt team. They finally got a halfway decent quarterback. The Ben DiNucci's and all of these guys they had before for Pat Narduzzi, they're gone now. They got a decent quarterback now. The defense to me looks a lot better this season as well. Not going to be easy. We know Penn State, they still put up points against App State. It was the defense that let them down. But I think Pitt, there's a good thing to throw out here, Gabe. 33-14 last year, Penn State beat Pitt. Pitt outgained Penn State in that game. They lost by 19, Pitt, and they outgained Penn State in that game despite losing by 19. Turnovers did them in. They had a punt return touchdown. They had a fumble return touchdown in that game, Penn State, to make that score lopsided than it really should have been. Pitt outstatted Penn State last year, even though they lost by 19. I think Pitt's in this game all the way.
Babano, rightwager.com is Babano's getting ready for getting ready for October. First month is first month free, right?
Yeah, first month we're just getting ready. We're getting up on the site. We're letting Big Man and Donnie get some traction with their service first, get the signups, done with them first for heading into September. Then the plan was to bring me on board, which they're doing in the next week or two. So have me ready to go for October 1st, specifically in time for the NHL season, which I know people are chomping at the bit to sign up for that because obviously I'm going to be the only person on that site doing NHL hockey. So looking forward to that. But yeah, rightwager.com, and I'm going to bring that motto out again. We're making sports betting service affordable again. Yeah, $50 a month, $100 a month most. You're not going to see that on any other site.
So what you guys are really sticking with that line, making sports betting serviceable again or affordable?
Making it affordable again. Exactly right. It was such a hit last week on the radio show. I had to say it again. Yeah.
Yeah, Trump actually stole that from Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, exactly. And now I've stolen it from Trump, which isn't saying much. The fact I'm stealing anything from Trump probably isn't good.
Ian Cameron. Yeah, Wally George, I don't like how well Capper came at me at the It's okay. We had him on the radio show today. He's a nice guy. We just disagreed. Yeah, he was a little I thought he was a little smug with his Panthers bashing, but we have $500 on it now, and we'll see. I better win this game against the Cowboys. We got to get going there.
The great thing about betting disagreements, if you really want to settle the betting disagreement the right way, put some money down on it. You versus me. Let's go. And let's settle it the right way.
Exactly. Okay, Babano, we appreciate you joining us. We'll speak to you Friday.
All right.
Who knows where, I'll be in a different location. And, actually, you know what? I forgot. Friday we do the show from the studio, actually. So we'll be in the big studio Friday. Not that it matters to you, it's radio only, but for me, like I said, Friday I actually stay there all day and do shit.
Always fun. Fridays at 5 p.m. with you and Cam is always great gold on radio. I always enjoy it.
I look forward to it, Babano. We'll talk what happened about the Eagles game, and we'll jump in more on we'll know blue, and we'll have more feelings about the games now. We've seen an NFL game tomorrow night. It's always weird, though. You see that first NFL game, you get all fired up. It's like, oh, fuck, you got to wait another 3 days again for the real games,
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just, you have the Thursday night game, you're excited, you watch it, then you're like, oh, I got to wait another 2 days for week 1 on the Sunday card? How am I going to deal with that? How am I going to wait that long?
Good stuff.
My life as an NFL fan, yep.
I'll speak to you Friday.
All right, Gabe, good. We had a great, nice, tight 2-hour little segment there. Good stuff. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. Good luck this weekend as well. See ya.
There's Ian Cameron, Babano. Thank you, Babano. So, fuck, I can't believe I took the fucking Yankees tonight. I knew, man. I'm literally laying 160 with the fucking Yankees. Like, stupid play. I'm too tired to be betting baseball. I'm burnt out. I'm in football mode. I'm doing football games all day, football videos. Thanks. I appreciate that, Sonny Betts. You're a class act. I appreciate that. We'll see what we have in store tomorrow. Like I said, it's going to be more gambling talk over the next couple of days on Carton and Friends. We're going to get more serious, and then picks. And then we'll be on the radio tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm kind of screwed right now. Like, I'm kind of screwed right now. I don't have any money online. I lost my money in Bookmaker. I was stupid. Fucking Michigan. I got sloppy. And I've sort of been like, whatever. I need paper money anyways. I wanted to set up my Bet365 stuff with someone. I'm going to speak to Jazz or Cam before fucking Sunday. But now I'm a little pissed. Like, I don't know if FanDuel Sportsbook was going to have long field goal props. Whatever. It is what it is. I don't have a choice. Fuck. I got to go out to the book tomorrow. I guess after the radio show from 4 to 7, I'm going to go over to the FanDuel Sportsbook, try to get there before the football game starts. Then I'll just get back to the room to do the show tomorrow night. I don't really feel like doing the show from the Sportsbook if I'm not drinking. So, yeah, that's 6 a.m. Yeah, it's all podcast. It's all up, Wally George. It's not a fantasy show, though. It's just a normal sort of AM or, it's a normal sort of morning show. There's no pay safe cards in fucking Manhattan, Bruce Chad. Come on. Poo Banging Sports Talk. What's up, Poo Banging? You're right, Babano. I'm like Kramer in the morning. No, man, my commute's pretty smooth, man. It's gonna be a little less smooth over the next 10 days, but it's not bad, Babano. I take a ferry with a bunch of stuck up people, and I don't know, maybe I'm just stuck up. I seem to live in stuck up neighborhoods. So, like I said, like the people on the ferry, it's not, it's just fucking sort of uppity fucking worker Manhattan types and shit. New Jersey people going into work in the city. And the thing is, but man, once you're in the city, when you're in Manhattan, the traffic's not bad. You get around and shit. It's it's not as bad as people think, but like Toronto's actually worse, to be honest, or as bad. Even worse. There's always side streets to take in New York and shit. The problem with New York is when you get stuck on the fucking freeways, man. Like a little like 2 mile thing can turn into a real clusterfuck. And another thing is in New Jersey, they have fucking tolls everywhere. It's really annoying. Like you're in a taxi. Fuck, I got in a taxi the other day. I'm driving, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, fuck, it's $5 to cross here." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, he's like, "You got to pay it too." It's like, yeah, right. Fucking Christie. There's tolls every fucking there's tolls like every mile here in New Jersey. What's up, DJ Big Boss? I think Carton is going to be going on like October 1st or so. I don't know, first week of October, whatever. I have the record to do. I'll be back on the 23rd. And then we'll keep rocking. Joy Medina knows what I'm talking about. Exactly, bro. It's not that bad here. What's up, JP? Yeah, trench coat and scarf. I do need some new clothes, Kyle. Stage name, where's Carton going to? Carton has a court case coming up. Listen, I've been advised not to talk about it. One of those no comments, right? I wish him the best. Like I hope that he beats it, you know? Like it doesn't like it's not bad. I'm not like, ooh, it's like, oh, I want him to go and it's good for me. It's better for me if he stays. Like it's not, I know about it a bit too. I think he's got a shot, to be honest. But it'll be in the news pretty soon. I'm taking the Saints in Survivor, Rocky. I'm on the Saints. Yeah, Big Will is right. Saints, Rocky. What's up, Halifax? All right, guys. So we like to hang a little longer. What's up, bro? We like to hang a little longer, but I got to pack up. I got to get out of here in the morning and whatever. I got to be on the air at 9 a.m. Listen, we're going to be in Canada next week, all right? And I'm not going to have to wake up at 6 in the morning and stuff. So we'll give you a little. We'll go a little longer at some point. Then it'll be unique because I'm going to be joining you from some music studio or something. Who knows, man? Every night's a different scene. Fuck, can't say it's boring, man. You guys tune in. You never know where I'm going to be. Thanks, Bruce Chad. Thanks, stage name. I appreciate all you guys understanding that I can only go 2 hours here. So yeah, we got to get out of here. I got to pack up. We'll see you in the morning, 9 o'clock. Watch all the SBR videos throughout the day. Make sure to go over to SBR and the sports books and sign up. Get a nice bonus. Bet on the long field goal prop to go over the number. That's my best bet of the game tomorrow. Long field goal prop over the number. And I think, you know what? I think we didn't get into the teasers. I'll talk about it tomorrow on the shows, but the radio I'll be on at 4 o'clock too. But with the teasers, I think a teaser's in play tomorrow. I think you could tease the Eagles or the Falcons to the under and win, or even to the over and middle it. You get the Falcons at +8 points. I like that. Falcons to +8, under 51. I think that could cash. We'll post our picks to all the Patreons. We'll give you some winners. We'll post them on Twitter later today. You want my picks, tune into the radio shows, tune into the morning shows. Watch all the SBR stuff. And may the winners be yours. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.